Match 21 of the Conservation Games. It pits former Zimbabwe rugby international Brendan Dawson, who of course went on to coach the national side after that, and young Scott Vincent, a Zimbabwean golfing sensation, going up the ranks in world golf. I'll start with you, who's at home, of course. Brendan, how's Bulawayo? Good to have you on. It's been a busy day, I understand.
Yeah, thanks Tino for having us on the show. And yeah, down in Bulawayo, freezing cold, chilly weather, and probably a bit of frost around tomorrow morning.
Nice to have you around. All the best in this game. Of course, you're representing the Elephants. Scott, you're in Denver, Colorado, representing the Lions. Nice of you to join us.
Yeah, thank you, Tina. Excited to be here and looking forward to this challenge.
All right, let's move on to the coin toss. Very quickly before we do that, Brendan, my rugby career ended with one club match, I think, just after school. But maybe you can just tell us about seniority and obviously coming into a rugby side as a young man. You guys like to grill the young men, get them in line, and obviously seniority is a big thing in rugby.
Yeah, well, look, I think seniority, if you want to use that sort of word, but it's just, as a youngster coming into the national side and understanding where you are, the guys that have worn the jersey before you and the guys that are still there. And, just respecting it more as opposed to seniority is a bit of a harsh word, but more respecting the older guys that have been there, the guys that have gone through the hard yards. So it's all about massive story about respect and honoring the jersey.
You can call it respect, you can call it seniority, and we don't really give about that here in the Conservation Games. So because of that, I am going to give the coin toss to the young man. I've got a bead in my hands. Is it in my right or left? Scott, for the toss.
Let's go for the right.
It is in the right. Well done. You get the coin toss. Are you going to ask the first question or are you going to be asked?
I'll ask the first question.
Okay. All right. Brendan, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, my mate.
All right. Let's go, man.
Good luck, Brendan. Just don't play too well.
Good luck, Scotty. All the best, my mate.
All right. First question. Which international golfing tours have I played on?
I think you've played on the Asian, the Japan tour, and Asian, Japan. I know you're also, what I didn't read up to is you're on the Canadian tour.
Okay.
Asian,
all right.
Japan.
I wanted to see how many more you can get. You've got 2 for me. That's 2 marks. Good start, Brendan. Let's move on to the next question.
Great.
Jeepers, so that was kind,
eh? Don't worry, you'll have your turn to answer, Scott.
All right, one more. I played in the World Cup of golf in which year?
Was it 2019? 2019.
Unfortunately, I cannot give you that. You were 1 year out, Brendan. It was 2018. I kept quiet because I thought I want to change your answer, but I'm going to not give you any points for that. If you've got your 2 questions ready for Scott, get them just ready for us. Scott, very quickly, did you play any team sports in school before you became a professional golfer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I played, junior school, kind of everything I could. High school, I kind of focused a little more on golf, obviously, but played hockey, rugby, cricket. So yeah, a little bit of background in the sporting side of it, but obviously was a little small for the game of rugby, so I stuck to golf.
For my question is, how difficult is it going from playing so many team sports in school and then becoming an international sports person who literally competes by themselves? You've got nobody to go to if things are not going well for you on that day, or you can go back to your room. You've got nobody really to talk to other than maybe a coach or a mentor or your caddy. But it must be very different and quite tough when things aren't going so well.
Oh, absolutely. Any individual sport, you've got nothing to hide behind. Maybe some of the other sports, your teams can cover for you or pick up where you're lacking. Maybe you get subbed out or something like that. You can't do any subbing out. You can't do anything when you're playing on your own. But the highs comes with the lows as well. So yeah, it's a challenging sport, but I love it.
Okay, thanks for that, Scott. Right, have we got the 2 questions ready, Brendan?
Yeah, look, yeah, I'll give Scotty a fairly easy one. In 1991 Rugby World Cup, I scored a try in which match?
You were playing against Ireland. Do you want the which order that was of the 3?
No. Ireland is a good enough answer for me, Scott. We can move on to the next one. 2 points for you, 2-2 at the moment.
Beautiful.
Okay, between 1987 and 88 and 89, I played for which rugby football club overseas?
I might say this wrong, but it was something like Swansea or Swansby.
Okay, so you're on the right track. I'm going to give you one more go to get the name right.
Okay. So I got to get it spot on, eh?
Got to get it spot on. One more go.
Okay. Man, I should know this. Best guess I can say is Swansea Rugby Club or something.
All right. Well done. I'll give you 2 points for that. So you nip into the lead.
Done,
Scott, I will
well done.
Let you know. Yeah, very well done. But you talked about the 91 World Cup in the previous question, and you were only 24 years old. What did it feel like representing your nation at a World Cup at such a young age?
To represent your nation at any age is phenomenal. Even my last cap when I was 32, it was still the same as when I was playing my very first cap in 1987. So, but playing at a World Cup was just the most exuberating, the most amazing feeling, because you're playing at the highest level, and you representing your country as one of the top 16 nations in the world. So yeah, it's just an amazing feeling. And we had some of the older guys in our team. I'm sure it would have been exactly the same feeling playing as us youngsters. So, representing your country, I believe, is the highest honor you can ever do. So, and especially at a World Cup, man, it was an unbelievable World Cup, and to be part of it was very treasurable, and we treasure those feelings, and those, we chat about it a whole lot with all the Andy Ferreira, Adrian Garveys, all of the same guys. We all chat about it constantly because it was just an amazing time of our lives.
Yeah, and very well done for that. So after the first section, guys, Scott, you slightly in the lead, 4 points to 2. Well done, good start. We're going to move on to the preset conservation questions. And Brendan, you'll answer first on this one. And it is, which 2 rivers meet on the eastern tip of Gonerizo?
I think it's the Savi and Rundi.
Absolutely, well done. 2 points for you.
Thank you, mate.
That takes us to 4 points each. Your next question. Your favorite animal is the sable. Before we move on to the sable, did that come before or after playing rugby? Because I understand the national 15s are the sables.
No, look, I've always enjoyed those animals. Well, yeah, maybe I'll be honest. Yeah, maybe it is a bit of the sable, but yeah, it is a beautiful animal.
Right. Can you give me the average weight then of a mature sable, a male that is? I'll be kind. I'll give you 10 kgs either side.
Okay. I can't remember now. I studied this thing the other day. I think it might be about 220 kgs.
I'll give you one more go. I'll give you one more go, Brendan.
Male, but about say 200.
Oh, I thought you were going to go up. It's actually 235. I thought you might go up to 225. So no points there for you, unfortunately. But you did collect a couple of points there. So that takes you neck and neck with Scott as we move on to Scott's conservation questions. Your favorite animal, Scott, is the leopard. Your favorite conservationist is Steve Irwin. Tell us a little about why you like the leopard.
Well, it's just so rare. Like, I think I've only seen 2 out in the wild, in my lifetime. And I mean, when you do see them, you either don't see them for very long, or they're just super relaxed and just chilling. But yeah, it's just a beautiful animal and just something that we don't get to see very often.
Right. Okay, let's move on to your first question, which is a rather long one. Mana pools is made up of a variety of vegetation types. You get the riverine woodland, floodplain woodland, the piney forests, and then you get a very thick, low, scrubby type bush, which covers a large part of the interior. What is it called for 2 marks?
Is it called Jesse?
Absolutely, 2 points. Well done. It's the Jesse bush. You move on to 6, and we move on to your second question. Are you all right there, Brendan? I just heard a bit of a sound in the background. Second question, Scott. Wild dog are found in packs and are seen reasonably often in mana pools. Where do they bring up their pups?
Wow. What about a leopard question, That would have been nice.
We thought that you would have been studying the leopard over the last 5 days, so we thought maybe a leopard question would be so smart.
I would say, can I give the answer as a den, or do I need to be more specific?
I'll give it to you.
Ooh, that is kind.
Den will do. So that takes you on to
8 points.
Yeah.
Favoritism there, buddy.
Brendan, you're a little bit behind here, but I know you can pull it out right at the end with your antics in the wild card. Guys, we've come to the end of section 2 in conservation, and you have a 4-point lead. Of course, Scott, going into our halftime break. Viewers, please stay with us. We'll be back with you in just a moment's time.
Our wildlife needs help. Tourism to Africa is at an all-time low. You can assist by liking and sharing the conservation games. You can contribute financially by hitting the donate button on the Zambezia.com website. Let's get together and back up the frontline conservation team.
Welcome back then to Conservation Games, match 21. Brendan Dawson taking on Scott Vincent. He's at the moment 4 points behind after the first 2 sections, but of course, still another round of questions to go, and the wacky wild card right at the end to give him an opportunity to catch up or to take the lead. Brendan, very quickly, I can see you're a bit behind here on the questions. I'm going to give you a question that's got absolutely nothing to do with the games. Maybe we can get the mind cranking a little bit. YES spells what? I thought that if I say this to you, then we'll get the mind going.
No, Adrian Garvey considered kind of thing.
Adrian Garvey it was indeed. Right, guys, let's move on. You asked first, obviously, Brendan, in the first section. Scott, you will answer first in this third section. Questions about his career, please, from you, Brendan.
Okay, Scotty, in 2018, you came 5th in the Asian Order of Merit. Who were the 4 players to beat you?
Oh, man. What year was that again? 2018. 18, all right. Okay, we go with Justin Harding.
If you give me 2, I'll give you 1 point.
That would be a nice start, I think, eh? All right, we'll try. So Justin Harding, Jazz, Jana Watanon. We'll go with, wow, I can't even put Shubanka Sharma, and come on, just one more guy. Who else was out there? Gaganji Bula. It's my best guess.
Right. You've got Shubanka Sharma, you've got Gaganji Bula, you've got Justin Harding, but that's only 3, so you'll get 1 point for that.
Oh, Okay.
Move
Yeah,
you
well
on
done.
to
Good
9.
effort, my mate. Well done.
Pretty
Thank
good.
you.
Good effort.
Let's move on to the next one.
Okay. Okay. In 2018, you were runner-up to the Park Shang-hun in Shanghai Dohan Open. How many under par were you according to Wikipedia?
Man, these are some tough questions. How many events I play 1 year? All right. 2018. Clearly, that's not a very memorable year by the way that we're going at the moment.
So far, yeah.
Do I have any leeway at all?
No, you've got to be spot on. It's less than 2 years ago, and it was your score.
Yikes, man. Okay. I'm going to go with... Oh, just remembered the other guy that beat me. Too late. Anyway.
Unlucky.
I will go with 16 under par.
16 under par?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's wrong. It's 17 under par.
Oh,
But good
that's
effort.
just close.
Very,
Good
very
effort.
close. Right. Brendan, your last couple of questions.
Yes,
you
sir.
need to collect some points here. Scott, are you ready?
Okay, Brendan, during your test debut against Ivory Coast in 1990, who was the starting scrum? That's quite a tough one, I think. Yeah, you were working on my memory, so it's time to kick
I know
back a little
Garvey
bit.
was the tight head. Garvey was tight head. I think Albacini was hooker with Alex Nichols as loose head.
You've got Albacini. You've got Garvey.
Roger Moore.
You've got Roger Moore.
Okay, so that's a front row. Second rows might have been Mike Martin.
I don't have a Mike Martin.
Okay. Mate, truthfully, Mike Martin, I would have gone with Chris Botha.
Right. The other names I've got here are, of course, Brendan Dawson, Bernard Matthewman, Tony Horton, Neil Bushell.
Tony Horton. Okay,
Handel.
yeah. Now they're all coming back.
Last question then,
Yeah.
before we move on to the wild and wacky. Scott?
All right, here we go. In the 1990 World Cup qualifiers, who were the other teams competing?
She's like, it was Ivory Coast, obviously. And if I'm not mistaken, Tunisia and Morocco.
Absolutely. 2 points for you. Before we move on, you obviously have had the opportunity to coach the national side, Brendan. Is that a decision that you made while you were still playing, or is that something that came along after your playing days? And the difference between maybe playing for Zimbabwe and actually coming back and coaching the lads?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously, when I finished playing in 2001, I had nothing more to do much with rugby. And then 2007, rugby was in a turmoil at the time. We were ranked 59th in the world. When we had finished in 2001, we were second in Africa. We had just beaten Namibia, so we were ranked second in Africa. And we were tumbling down, and we got to 59th in the world. And then they asked me to come in and coach, and I coached the way I played and my passion and my love for the game. So, then luckily when we finished in 2014, we were ranked. And then obviously now that I'm back there again, whoever took over from me partly after me, again, it's slipped up to 48th in the world. We're back down now to 32. So we on the build again. We want to qualify for the next World Cup, and that's my goal.
All right, brilliant. Thanks a lot. Right, guys. Brendan, I'm going to let you go first because I was so cheeky at the toss. This is card number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Which is your pick?
I'll go 3.
You're going to go card number
I'll go 3.
The fish,
eagle, flap, call.
flap, and call.
I think you got this, Brendan, eh?
So, can you see it? See us there?
I can see you there, yeah.
So we go.
Hey, excellent, man.
Not bad, not bad. I will give you 3 points for that, Brendan.
3 only out of how many?
5. I think 3 out of 5 is fair. So
Okay, thanks very much, my buddy.
it leaves you tie at the moment. Let's move on to Scott.
Oh boy, here we go, eh?
Cards left to pick from.
So the fish eagle's out now, eh?
The eagle's gone.
I'll go for the 4th one.
You'll go for the 4th one. And you have picked the Hippo, Yawn, and Grunt.
Ah, probably the hardest one to do, I think. Eh?
And I saw Beefy Murray doing that, and I was practicing, hoping I'd get that. I was practicing that from yesterday.
That's pretty good too. And I think I will also give you 3 points for that. Okay. So,
Yes,
well done, my buddy.
you end up
Great effort, my man.
with 9 points for the elephants. Scott, really good effort from you. You end up with 12 for the lions. But of course, as we always say in conservation games, it's really not about the points and who wins, but it's about what we do to raise awareness and raise funding for conservation in the Zambezia region. Guys, thank you very much. Dawson, I know you're going to have to dash off in a little moment. Scott, wonderful to eventually hear from you and get to be with you on the conservation games. Very quickly before we go, I will say to the senior citizen, Brendan Dawson, have you got some words for us on conservation before you go?
Yeah, well, obviously it's very important that we put a massive effort into making sure conservation happens, because, you know, we're obviously wanting the animals, the birds, and everything around us for the future. And you know, it's easy for everybody to be thinking of only today, not of tomorrow. And I think we need to start looking into about tomorrow and where things are going to be and what things are going to be around. And we've got to think of our children, and our children's got to think of their children. And, you know, we want this game around. We want the people to understand what it was to have all these animals around us, and be able to be going into national parks and seeing everything around us. And with the people like yourselves that are very heavily involved in it, it's credit to you guys and 10 points to you guys. And everybody should be thinking of the same way, the way you guys are thinking about game and game conservation, because we need game around us, and we need our world, because it's part of our world, and we need to make sure that sticks around.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Brendan. Scott, some parting words?
No, absolutely. Thanks again, guys. This was so much fun, and, you know, to be part of this and to raise a little bit of awareness for, you know, conservation. What an opportunity. And yeah, it is so important. I mean, there's nothing better than going out, you know, into the bush, you know, game viewing and being able to see a lot of animals. I mean, yes, that's part of it, seeing and not seeing, but, you know, the efforts that are being made, and, you know, the awareness that we're raising through this is just invaluable. You know, we love animals. You know, anyone that's born in Africa has a huge passion for animals. And so, you know, we'd love to keep that going. And, you know, we'd love our kids and our grandkids to have the opportunity to see the animals that we've seen. And, you know, I would just hate it if some of them disappeared and we're no longer on this earth. So, yeah, any effort that could be made is just hugely important. So well done to this whole conservation organization. Amazing what you're doing, and yeah, the work is you know, immeasurable. So well done.
Thanks a lot for that, Scott. All the best, of course, for you in the coming years in your career. Brendan, thanks a lot for being with us, guys. To the viewers who have been following us over the last couple of weeks, thank you very much. We've come to the end of match 21, and it was the Lions that just went ahead and won the game against the Elephants by 3 points. But when you do have a moment, please go onto the website. It's www.zambezia.com and go and see all the work that the Conservation Alliance is doing in the Zambezia region for conservation. Other than that, there's lots of opportunities and platforms for you if you do wish to come on board and support this initiative. But otherwise, please stay with us, stay tuned, and it won't be too long before we have match 22 of the Conservation Games. Until then, it's goodbye.